Everyone is asking the wrong question. How do I optimize my content for AI? The answer? Well, you don't. You don't take existing content and somehow optimize it for ChatGPT. You create the type of content that AI naturally wants to recommend. That's the real secret behind evergreen content visibility in AI search. And it's exactly the same strategy I've been successful with in a wide variety of industries. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why AI isn't changing the rules of thought leadership. It's simply giving people another way to find true thought leaders. You'll know how to capitalize on this unprecedented opportunity. Let's dive right in. When people think about AI search, they think about it the same way they used to think about traditional SEO. They wonder, how should I structure my metadata? How should I tag my content? What technical operations do I need to get the attention of AI? These are all the wrong questions. AI isn't looking for websites. In fact, websites are one of the last things it's looking for. AI is looking for answers. So instead of trying to optimize for AI, create the answers that people are already searching for. That's actually the strategy. Now what's funny is I haven't changed my strategy. Long before ChatGPT existed, I was teaching people to create evergreen content that answered specific questions. We've been getting the most valuable search traffic from Google and YouTube search. And today, the same strategy works even better. The content didn't change, the audience didn't change, the questions didn't change. The only thing that changed is where people go looking for answers. When somebody opens ChatGPT or Perplexity, Claude, or Grok, they're usually asking a question. It starts with, how do I? The most valuable thing AI can find is a piece of content that answers their exact question. You don't have to guess what those questions are. You can just research them. You can learn the exact wording that your dream clients are asking when they go online. Then just create the answers. People often ask, what creates authority? My answer is momentum. So let's say we've identified a healthy branch, one with dozens of valuable questions. We answer the first question, then the second, then the third. Eventually, we're ranking at the top for all of these answer engines for these specific searches. All of that momentum starts building authority for the entire branch. So even the broader, more competitive searches begin pointing people towards your content. Authority isn't something that you declare, it's something that you build, one answer at a time. Many of our clients start seeing momentum within the first couple of months, and it's possible to dominate an entire branch in as little as 6 months. If that sounds like a long time, let me explain what I just said. We're not talking about publishing one great article. We're talking about systematically becoming the strongest authority in your entire category. That's an outcome that most businesses would gladly spend millions of dollars and years trying to achieve. And with this strategy, you can begin seeing the momentum almost immediately. Evergreen content is the only type of content that builds momentum. That's kind of why we call it evergreen. Every other type of content eventually stops working. Trending content gets a spike, but then it fades. Entertaining videos get shared, and then people move on. News becomes old, and evergreen content is the opposite of that. It continues getting discovered because people continue asking the same questions. Every new evergreen answer builds on the last one. Trending content replaces itself. Evergreen content builds on itself. Now take a look at this on the screen here. Most people think the steps on the left are success. Not for AI search, not for lead generation. The path on the left is strictly for YouTubers who make money from advertising. The list on the right is building momentum. Momentum becomes authority. Evergreen videos like this build trust, and they turn into referral quality leads. Imagine two creators. Both publish 100 videos in a year. That's 2 episodes per week. So creator A chases trends. Creator B answers evergreen questions. At the end of the first year, creator A has far more views, far more subscribers. It looks like they're winning, but when you look closer, you'll see that creator A didn't get any leads. Creator B did, great leads. Now fast forward 5 years, This is where the difference is really astounding. Let's say neither creator publishes another video after the first year, and we fast forward to the end of the 5th year. Creator A's content is a ghost town, basically no views compared to year 1 and no leads. Creator B is still getting found, still getting leads, still building authority. In fact, they're getting more views from search in year 5 than they did in year 1. That's the power of evergreen content. People will ask, how does AI know who's an authority? Well, it consistently finds your content. If it sees that you've answered question after question on the same subject, and it sees that Google ranks your content, and it sees that YouTube ranks your content at the top, those platforms have already validated that your answers are valuable. AI simply becomes another pathway that helps people find those answers. AI doesn't reward expertise alone. It rewards the most findable answers. Think about how search has evolved. Years ago, Google rewarded websites with strong metadata and backlink authority. YouTube used to reward keyword stuffing. Well, what about today? Google rewards content that answers people's questions. YouTube rewards content that answers people's questions. And AI rewards content that answers people's questions. You just need to make sure it's organized well, it's easy to understand, and already trusted by platforms like Google and YouTube. One of my favorite moments is getting on a Zoom call with someone on the other side of the world and hearing them say, "I found you through ChatGPT," or "Perplexity recommended your videos to me." See, that's really exciting, not because AI did something magical, because it's just validation that the strategy is working. AI isn't changing the rules of thought leadership. It's giving people another way to find true thought leaders. So don't waste your time trying to optimize for AI. Create evergreen answers. If this episode has you wondering, how do I know which questions I should be answering? Well, that's exactly what we're covering next, because thought leadership doesn't start with content. It starts long before that. And in the next episode, thought leadership doesn't start with content. I'll show you why most experts begin in the wrong place and the outcome first framework I use to help clients become the go-to authority in their industry. I'll see you in the next episode.